Hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday today. It's August 20th, 2024. This is Andrew Byrne coming with another video today. Lots going on in New Babylon, aka the United States of the fallen America. Once a great country, now the most corrupt, evil, disgusting government in the world, probably ever. I know the Nazis and Germany in World War I and II were bad, but U.S. is right behind, if not surpassing it. We are in the days of Noah. This is by far the worst this world has ever been. Way worse than the days of Noah, I believe. Let's talk today about Chiraq, Chicago, the home of the Antichrist, Barack Obama. They're holding the DNC this week there, of course. In the parking lots, Planned Parenthood's giving out free vasectomies and abortions to all those who want it free. Shows how fallen and disgusting our culture and society have become. Abortion is the most disgusting, satanic, Luciferian act any man or woman can commit. The African American community especially has fallen. They do more abortions than by far any other ethnic race. I love the African American community. They built a lot of this country with their hard work and dedication. But the government and Lucifer has gone after the nuclear family, that demographic, for decades, and it shows. Not only did they take the father out of the family and throw all the children into private prisons so the elites can make money off that. The most inhumane way to treat a human being is a prison. I've been there. It's awful. It doesn't make you a better person. If anything, it makes you worse, by far. It's inhumane. It's ungodly. And they just steal your loosh, which is an emotion. They harvest it. A cell, you're the battery, that's the cell. The cell absorbs your energy because you're the battery. You run on magnetic energy through the magnetic field of the earth, and it distorts your loosh, your energy, into that cell, and it absorbs it. And they got machinery, mechanisms underneath the prisons to generate the loosh into a substance that the reptilians and the evil elites, the cabal, actually feed on. It's like a food. It's called loosh. It's real. They have these mechanisms under concerts, sporting events, political conventions, anything that holds a massive audience of energy and loosh. You'll guarantee that there's a mechanism, a piece of machinery underneath that building or event stadium that absorbs all the loosh while hexing and cursing you through music and rituals, through concerts and sporting events, and allowing demons to possess human beings unknowingly or knowingly, or opening portals that allows the entity in through another dimension, such as an alien, like a gray, or the worst of the worst, the reptilians. I feel the reptilians are way worse than the Nephilim. The reptilians have no human DNA in them whatsoever. They aren't even, they're humanoid, but they're fifth dimensional, interdimensional beings, intergalactical reptiles that are humanoid or bipedal. They're Lucifer's army. They were once angels, and in their fallen state with Lucifer, they became reptiles. And from then on, they have been the reptilian draconians. There's about 7 different races of them. I've talked about the worker race, the warrior race, and the royal race, the 3 main ones. They come in all shapes and sizes, but those are the 3 main ones. If they have wings, run. Those things are almost indestructible. Only God and archangels, cherubs can destroy these things. They're so powerful, you have no chance against these things. Raptors are another one. They just look like the raptors in Jurassic Park, but they have humanoid arms. They're very telepathic. They're carnivorous. They don't eat living humans. That's their favorite food, of course, like every other alien. They harvest and eat us like everyone else. Well, getting back to the National Convention, the Democratic Party isn't holding back. They're out in the open promoting socialism, communism. Communism and socialism has killed over 100 million human beings in the last 100 years, and it's about to get a lot worse. Trump isn't for socialism, communism. He's more of like a hierarchy, like a king. He wants to rule by himself. He wants all authority. And then Harris wants to do communism, but they both are the same coin, just two different sides, because the guy who has the coin, the ownership of that coin, is Obama. He is the Antichrist, and he's pulling both strings, causing division like I've never seen before. This country's so divided that we have no chance of survival. When an empire crumbles from the inside out, it ceases to exist forever. And that's exactly what they're doing toward this country. Russia and China have been infiltrating and destroying this country for decades. It's been a long, drawn-out process. They've executed perfectly through the two different parties, which are just a uniparty. Democrats, Republicans, they're both evil. There's two different sides of the coin. And we're divided. We have so many true patriots and Christians out there that idolize Trump, and they don't even know it. They put him before God, and they put all their trust in him and hope in him. And when he gets assassinated, it's going to break out a civil war that this country's going to never recoup from. When he gets killed, which I believe is going to be a clone, it's not going to be the real him. Through the military tribunals all the way till now, what they do is they kill a clone of that individual, and the real one is sitting in a bunker on an island somewhere, drinking a pina colada, laughing at humanity. They trick us time and time again. They've been doing clones for hundreds of years. They have organic cyborgs that eat, sleep, act like us. Almost every NBA athlete or NFL athlete isn't even human. Most of them are organic cyborgs, or there's some form of technology that I might not even be able to comprehend. Our government, DARPA, is probably at least 1,000 years ahead of technology than we are now. They already have like the iPhone 70, guys. It's just sitting on a shelf. This Illuminati, the enlightened ones, they have technology beyond our comprehension. There's marine kingdoms underwater, like the example, like Atlantis, an underwater kingdom. Those things are real, guys. There are human demonic entities that live underwater in these vast cities that are like 7 times bigger than Panama City in Central America, or New York or London. And they live in a dome under the water. And these huge, ancient, high technological cities that are beautiful. There are a lot of them made out of crystal. They're 1,000 years ahead of us technology. They're the areas that produce all the evil sin and products that Christ and his angels try to protect humanity from. But when the angels fell in the book of Enoch, they taught humanity all these hidden secrets and showed them how to make jewelry, weapons of war, makeup, earrings. They showed new sexual acts through the Kama Sutra and all these forbidden knowledge and acts, and they taught humanity in the Marine Kingdom. The 7 Marine Kingdoms are the bases for the production and dispersal of all these evil objects and ideas and forbidden knowledge. Millions of these witches, warlocks, demons in meat suits, every monster you could think of, even aliens, all coexist in these underground, underwater bases. They're underground as well, in catacombs all throughout the world. I keep telling you, the earth is like an onion. It's got layers and layers of caverns. Man has also bored tunnels all throughout the world. A submarine can literally go underwater across the whole United States continent in a submarine from the east coast to the west coast in a direct straight underwater. We have Russian and Chinese submarines under every continent with US. You see all these earthquakes like one in Russia, the 7.0. This is just submarine warfare underground under the continent, guys. It's all it is, or alien warfare. It could be underwater, or it could be possibly in an air pocket cavern, but they're setting off these nuclear and hydrogen bombs that are causing these massive earthquakes. And if they keep doing it, it's going to offset the tectonic plates and shift so much weight of water and just land mass that's going to cause a catastrophic event like nothing we've ever seen before, such as the 10-point earthquake that's going to hit California and the West Coast and literally shift that whole West Coast landmass into the ocean at one fell swoop. It's going to be catastrophic. It's going to be unbelievable. I don't even think anyone can ever comprehend what's about to happen. If you're on the West Coast or East Coast, if you're in Florida, I highly suggest you get off the coastline and get towards the center of the country as much as you can, because that's the safest place. There won't be any true safe place in this world to hide from, but I can guarantee you, if you're on the coastline, you have 0% chance of surviving if you're unsaved and you're left in the rapture. The whole East Coast and West Coast will be gone instantly. Russia has a nuclear bomb called Poseidon, which is a detonated nuclear bomb that goes into the water through a submarine, and it sets about a mile off the coastline, and it activates. And when it sets off, it forms a radioactive mile-high wave that's going to hit the U.S. coastline, and it's going to devastate New York City and form a radioactive wave, hit the city of New York, and at the same time cause it to be radioactive. So if you survive the tidal wave, which most people won't, you're going to have to deal with the radioactivity, and that's going to kill you slowly and painfully. So get off the East or West Coast, try and move your family to the Midwest or the Great Plains where it's safe or safer. If you're saved and covered in the blood of Christ and received his free gift of salvation, you have nothing to worry about. But all this is going to start happening while we go up. While we go up, do not look down. I don't care if you hear your baby crying or your husband asking for you. Keep looking up and don't look back. Everything's going to pop off all at once. Men are going to die of heart attacks. Numerous people are going to commit suicide because it's just too much to handle all at one time. We see all these 2012 movies and all these catastrophic movies, and they're nothing compared to what's really going to happen. The United States and the world governments know that wormwood is coming and approaching this world, and it's going to hit and nick the world. It's going to bombard us with meteorites. While it nicks us, and it's going to cause us a total polar flip. It's going to flip us upside down momentarily, and then it's going to set us off to about 30 degrees when it resets. So Ecuador is pretty much going to be the North Pole, and Antarctica is going to be on the equator. It's going to cause massive climate changes of each country. Most people are going to freeze to death. The temperatures are going to drop to 180 degrees below zero instantaneously. And on the equator, the temperatures are going to rise all the way up to 200 degrees. Hopefully the continent you live on is going to be stuck in the middle of that, and it's going to be somewhat bearable. But if you're on the equator, all the way up North or South Pole, you will die instantly. It'll be a horrific death. It'll be very scary. I've seen cattle, human beings floating in space. That's how hard these meteorites and this asteroid is going to hit this planet. It's going to hit so hard that people are actually going to fly off our planet and be in orbit, frozen. That's how hard we're going to get hit and pelted by these meteorites and wormwood. It is no joke. Every government's known about this since the 80s. They prepared. They've used especially the US taxpayer dollars, to build these massive cities underground, in mountains, under caves, even some underwater, to protect the elites and all the people they feel are worth saving, to restart a society and civilization from ground zero. This has happened numerous times before. They're prepared for it. They know what to do. The Illuminati have done this over and over and over. They sit in their caves and their holes while the rest of humanity unknowingly suffers and eats each other little by little if they even survive the onslaught to begin with. Wormwood is in our solar system. I call it Nibiru. It's a planet with hordes and hordes of demons and monsters on it. They're waiting to come to this planet. They will come through the meteorites. As soon as they hit the ground, you'll see a big hole in the ground with fire and lava coming out with the monster as well. These things are indestructible almost. No weaponry on Earth, at least gunnery, artillery, bombs. They really don't harm these things. They're very strong. They're telepathic. And they're just bred to be killing machines. And their one purpose is to kill as many humans as possible. This is all coming, and people need to understand what they're fighting, or they can't fight to begin with. When this happens and we get raptured, the veil is also going to be lifted, so all the Nephilim that are walking amongst us on this planet, whispering in our ears, telling us to commit sin, giving us problems day after day. There's just millions of them walking amongst us all day, every day, but they're in a different dimension. We can't see them. We can feel them sometimes and sense them, but they can't really physically harm us. If they do, they break a karmic law and they get punished. But they do mess with us. They do cause a lot of suicide and a lot of children to die early. The earlier someone dies, the more likely they'll go to hell. They always want to get you early, especially the chosen ones. That's why your lives have been so hard and everything's so difficult. That demons, 2 or 3 walking with you at all times and giving Lucifer all the intel on you and how to get through your armor as effectively as soon as possible. With this DNC happening in Chicago, they're trying to rile up protest, riots, and they're trying to start a domino theory from city to city to start having riots so they can call in the UN peacekeepers, also known as the Chinese military with Russian military disguised as NATO, to come in and take us over through martial law. Our politicians have already sold us out to China and Russia. They've already forfeited their states, their cities, their governments over to us through corruption and blackmail. They think that they'll be safe and their family's going to be halted to a safe location or country while we get destroyed and taken over through force, brute force. But what they do not know is those governments are going to kill their family and them as well. Why would they trust someone that betrays their own homeland? They don't. They manipulated and blackmailed these politicians and leaders. A lot of pastors, a lot of false teachers have also signed the dotted line to Lucifer and his legions. They're all playing on Lucifer's side, and they're all ready for this. They don't believe in countries and borders. They believe in a one world government and a one world leader, the Antichrist Obama. They got to destroy America in order for this whole operation to work. They know America is full of patriots and real Christians that will fight to the death for their freedom and to stop anarchy at all costs. So they're going to decimate us. They're going to take us by surprise. You're going to see millions of planes dropping parachuters and tanks. We have submarines that are so big they can carry numerous amounts of artillery and tanks. There's planes that, guys, you have to understand, they're so far ahead of us in technology, Russia and China. You're going to see equipment and machinery you didn't think was possible. You're going to see planes that are so big, they're like 10 times bigger than a commercial airliner. Think about it. Our B-2 bombers, our stealth fighters, those were made in the 60s, late 50s. You have no idea what they have now. They have anti-gravity, magnetic propulsion engines now. They have UFOs, they have starships. Every country has starships all across the galaxy, guys. Japan's the #1. They're the most high-tech country in the world. They're being attacked right now by China and Lucifer as we speak through their economy. They're going to submit to China and Russia, and they'll hand their technology over for them for mercy. They already have, it's just not being talked about. The US is on their own. They're going to infiltrate us. Their submarines have already encircled our whole country. Half our military is already working with the Russian and Chinese military. The other half is going to be blindsided and destroyed within a matter of a day. They already have all of our military bases surrounded and infiltrated. They have numerous insurgents in our military as we speak, in every position and ranking, that knows when they get the call to shoot their captains and their higher command and take over every unit. They'll take over a military base within 30 minutes of activation of this call. They'll activate all their super soldiers, their satanic super soldiers that can run 30 miles an hour. They're impenetrable pretty much to bullets, and they can run through brick walls and literally break a gun with their bare hands like it's nothing, like it's a plastic cup. There's millions of those super soldiers, clones, manufactured soldiers under the ground, under the water, and even in the air in motherships that are ready to come down as UN's peacekeeping soldiers. And their one objective is to kill as many civilians as they can in a very efficient way. All these troops, all these police officers, all these people of any type of military or law enforcement background, most of them aren't Americans to begin with. They hate our country. They've sold us out to Lucifer. They want nothing more to kill as many Americans as they can. As soon as they destroy America, Israel has no other help, and then they'll circle Israel and try to destroy that. They will kill 2/3 of all Israelis, and the other third are going to run to Jordan, and they're going to live there for 3.5 years and be saved for the new millennial reign. That's exactly what's going to happen. The eye of the prize is Jerusalem and Israel. In order to get Israel and Jerusalem, it has to destroy America. America's already destroyed. They already did all the hard work. We're just sitting ducks waiting for that phone call. So every minute, every second you have with your family, friends, and loved ones, cherish it. That's why I told yesterday's video how to be safe, because we are out of time. The DNC shows me and proves to me in Chicago that it's over. They won. It doesn't matter if Trump takes office. He'll be killed within a week after he regains his presidency. Civil war is going to start, guys. They already pressed the button. We're already in a civil war. Americans are so dumb and so enslaved, they actually think they're free. If I hear one more American say we're a democracy, I'm going to lose it. We are a republic. We are not a democracy, people. People need to start reading their Constitution, their Bill of Rights, and start studying the laws. Even though they're going to be rejected and scrapped in about 2 or 3 months, you should still learn your history and where you came from. The reason why our country fell is through corruption, and we've had it too easy for too long. Our culture is divided. We're a bunch of weak, technological driven people. We rely too much on technology. No one can survive without a Walmart. No one knows how to do anything without their phones. Our children are weak. They're cuddled. Everyone gets a trophy kind of society. We're fed poison. We're poisoned through the air and our water. There is no hope. We are defeated, people. It's time to put all your faith in Christ and start focusing on the treasures in heaven and you going there. Quit worrying about your job and your 401k and your bank account, people. Soon you're going to wake up one morning and all banks are going to be closed on a holiday, permanent holiday, and all your savings, all your belongings, all your assets and safety deposit boxes will be gone. It's called a bail-in. They passed a law that makes it legal for banks to have bail-ins. If your money's in a bank or your assets, you don't own it anymore. You gave your rights over to that bank because you're an idiot. You should have had a safe, or you should have had a big deep hole in your lawn or in the forest somewhere and saved all your personal assets and hid them. Banks are corrupt. Our government just prints money out of the air. There's no gold backing of any of our currency. The Federal Reserve is destroyed through corruption and not being gold backed, and there's going to be a new form of currency through crypto called Harmony. Harmony is going to be the new coin that the beast system is going to use to trade or sell. Without giving your optical ID and your thumbprint and your face, you cannot get a Harmony coin or trade with it. You're going to take the mark of the beast in order to activate your Harmony coin. They have all the new financial systems set up. They're just waiting for that one moment to crash the system. Our stock market is a joke. All the numbers are fake. All the money's gone, and it's all just a circus. It's all make-believe. All those numbers are faulty. Our economy has been down and inactive for years. I can't understand why people are so involved in their diversified portfolio when all they had to do in the first place was just buy gold and silver, real hard actual gold and silver, hide it somewhere, and you have more savings, and you don't have to worry about inflation if you just save your gold and silver. But people want to invest in uranium and stocks and all this crap, and it's all fake. It's a Ponzi scheme, people. The only people that win in the stock market are hedge funds. The rich get all the money, and the poor always get screwed. There's been a wealth transfer since 2020. 90% of all currency and wealth is owned by 1% of this population. The other 8% is owned by about 3%, and then the rest of the world owns that other 2%. Wake up, people. Quit worrying about your finances, your assets, your material things. That is of the devil. Start focusing on Christ. I know we have to work, we have to provide for our families and stuff, but in 2 months, none of this is going to matter. No one's going to have a job in 2 months. Our economy is so broken that companies aren't going to be able to even run anymore. Every company's going under, guys. It's going to be a full financial reset. That's it. There's going to be 3 businesses that run every type of business. There'll be 3 probably fast food chains. There'll be 3 grocery stores. And they're all going to be owned by the government in the world government. There's not going to be any more competition. They already knocked out all the mom and pop stores and all the small chain businesses. They already took them out through COVID. So this has all been strategic. It's been perfectly done. And people just don't see it. They have their head up their butt and they have no idea what's going on. Quit listening to the news. The news is full of lies. We're going to be actually invaded by China and Russia, and you're not even going to hear about it on the news. They're not going to tell anyone. For 2 or 3 days, the Midwest is going to think everything's fine, everything's going to be all right, when we're not. We're actually getting infiltrated little by little, every hour by miles. They're going to gradually infiltrate the coast into the middle. They're going to come in from Canada, Mexico, and both coastlines. The whole world is planning to invade us. Mexico is working with Russia and China. Canada is owned by China. Hell, we're owned by China. All of our car plants are being bought by China as we speak. We are legally owned by China. Hillary Clinton and Obama sold all of our national parks and all of our national property that's owned nationally by the so-called citizens of the U.S. They sold it to China. They own all of our public utility systems. They own our electrical grid. They've installed our electrical grid. They can turn it off with the flick of a switch. They can turn our internet off with the flick of a switch. All of our computer chips in our military are created by China. They have back doors to everything. We think we're so big and powerful. We are not. Our military is the weakest it's ever been, ever. We can't even fight China one-on-one, let alone Russia and China and Iran. That army has no weakness because they all united. They all focused on certain strengths for the last decade. And, like Iran has the best missiles in the world. Russia has the best bombs. China, they have the best production assembly lines. When you unite all these militaries together, it is a well-tuned fighting machine that's unstoppable. China isn't trying to take over the U.S. China is literally going to try to take over the whole world at once. At once. They're going to take over New Zealand, they're going to take over Australia, they're going to take over the whole Asian continent, they're going to take over all of Europe, and the U.S. is just going to watch. Then after that, they're gonna take us over. It's time to wake up, guys. I highly recommend, if you can afford to move your family out of this country, do so. Where should I move to? Switzerland. It's one place I'd probably move. Maybe somewhere in Russia. I don't know. There's nowhere you can hide. Every American's going to be hated across the world. But anywhere is better than here. I'll put it that way. Anywhere is better than the United States of America and safer. Anywhere. We're going to have the brunt force of the whole world on top of us all at once. We're going to be destroyed in an hour and a day. Easily. No question in my mind. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. But the DNC is peddling socialism, communism. I believe a lot of the crowds you see there are AI generated. They really probably have 5% of the real US vote. All the numbers and polls are fake. Trump's got 96% of the vote. I'd say JFK has 2, 3, and Kamala's got 2 or 3. That's how I see it, maybe less. That's the real numbers. Trump's even gonna win New York and California. But it doesn't matter, guys. Even though Dominion can be hacked and cheated, he's gonna be such a landslide they can't cheat. They're gonna have to resort to killing him. And Trump's in on it, guys. It's gonna be a clone. He's gonna sit on some island safe with his family and spend a nice life until Christ's second coming, probably. Then he'll get his judgment with everybody else. He is not getting salvation. He does not see Christ as the Son of God. He does not give his life to Christ at all. His God is a totally different God. It's period. Quit believing in man. Man will always let you down. Believe in God. Anyone that has that much power is corrupt and evil. He might not traffic and rape little kids and kill them and eat them, but he's very prideful, he's very selfish, and he's power hungry like a monster. And that's just as bad in my opinion when you have that much power. Do not go to the Democratic National Convention. Do not riot. Stay at home. Stay out of the way of chaos. Try and stay away from cities as much as you can. I live kind of close to Chicago. I hope I live far enough away. But I stay out of cities. I stay out of areas with a lot of people. I try and stay in the suburbs or the country where it's safest. Don't be stuck in a bad situation and ask for trouble, because you will get it. If you look for blood, you'll find it. It will find you every time. Stay out of Chicago. Stay out of every major city, especially Democratic-ran states and cities. If you live in a Democratic state, at least move to the Midwest or the Plains and move to a Republican-ran state and community. Those are the safest, the most well-ran, and the most ethical. I think Indiana's a great place to live. It's very Republican, great communities. Not many cities. I think Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Colorado, all be good places to live. Except for Denver. Denver's fallen. Denver's awful, guys. All these illegal immigrants, these MS-13 gang members, all these Venezuelan, Guatemalan gang members, they're taking over every city, guys. They've already killed all the African-American drug dealers and most of the Mexican cartels. These Venezuelan and Guatemalan gangs are taking everything over. They are evil. They are demonic entities in human bodies. They will torture your children in front of you. They are evil. They do not care. They have no mercy. Don't think you can talk to these people. They're not people. They're demons. I'm not racist or anything, guys. A lot of my friends are African American and Hispanic, but they're humans. There's a difference. Quit thinking everybody has a chance for salvation. Most people on this planet are not even human. They're demons in meat suits, or they're cyborgs, or they're aliens. 1 out of every 4 have real human DNA, and they're actually human, all human, and can be saved. The other 3 can't, no matter what. We're going to see a lot of underage children that are going to be in the tribulation left in the rapture. If you see a child under 10 or 12 walking around after the rapture, get the hell away from that kid, because it's not a kid, it's a demon. Demons love using children. They let your guard down so they can take full advantage of you. It's one of their best tricks. They always, when they're ghosts, demons love using ghosts as cover, and they always use a child. When they're actually like a 10-foot demonic monster that will peel your flesh off your skin and eat in front of you. No ghost is good. They're all demons. No child is going to be good in tribulation. Any child over 14 or under that missed the rapture, get away from them or kill them. You have to understand something. If you're left in the tribulation, you're going to have to kill entities. God's going to protect you. He's going to make miracles. He's going to plead the blood over you, and you can use His word and His name. But you're going to have to kill kids. You're going to have to kill human beings that have demons in them. You're going to have to kill monsters, Nephilim. You're going to have to start killing. You're going to have blood on your hands. You have to earn your keep. If you don't fight after the rapture, you're going to die. You're probably going to go to hell. God is a warrior. Christ is a warrior. He's the King of Kings. He's the Lion of Judah. He came here the first time trying to save and be peaceful. He caused division. He could have fought whenever he wanted to. He didn't want to. This time he's coming and fighting, guns blazing. He expects you to do the same. If you're not of Christ, you're His enemy. There's no fence and there's no line anymore. Either you're of Him or you're not. If you're not, you got to kill it. You got to destroy it, no matter what. No mercy. Start thinking about being possibly tortured or going through some really hard times or being hungry. Quit eating so much. Shrink your stomach down. Get in shape physically, mentally, and spiritually. Get ready for what's coming, guys. There's some people that are going to be left behind because they decided that that's God's will and they agreed to it. A lot of people are going to give up a lot. Or they're going to stay behind to try and save their family when they can't save themselves, let alone their family. You can't save yourself on this planet, guys, without God's help. Don't think you're going to be saving your children or your wife. You're not. If you go, go. Don't be that dumb. Because at the end, your wife or your kids might not want to be saved in the first place. You just came for nothing. You're suffering. You're given a chance to go to hell and denounce God. If you're saved, you need to denounce the Lord while you're getting tortured. You're going to hell. You lose your salvation, I don't care what you say. That's the truth. Or if you get the mark of the beast, you're toast. I don't care how saved you thought you were. It's over. Do not let any injectable pharmaceutical product or anything you're not aware of go into your body. And if it does, bless it and sanctify it before it goes into you. They will try and change your DNA, whatever means necessary, even by pill, by oral form. Use an eye drop. Sanctify all your medicine. Know what it is before you take it. So many people are so gullible, they just trust everything their demonic doctor tells you to do. A lot of these doctors and nurses and a lot of people in the medical field and mental health and physical health fields, they're demons in meat suits. That's one of their favorite jobs. They can torture and destroy you without you ever knowing. When I go into hospitals, my spirit goes crazy because there's so many demonic activity and evil portals and hexes and curses and entities walking amongst us in other dimensions, just causing havoc. It's awful. Never go into a hospital unless you have to. And when you do, plead the blood of Jesus over you and your whole family and all equipment. Get to know your doctor inside out. Ask if he's a Christian. Say Christ. If you say Yasha, the name Yasha or Yahushua, they'll flinch. They hate that name. It hurts them. It's like getting a blowhorn blown in our ears. Test out the spirit, guys. This is war. This is real. Everyone is so... They're like, oh, I can't see it. I don't believe it. Guys, the spiritual is so much more real than the physical. It's crazy. The physical is a joke to me. I think I'm trying to look more spiritual. I'm trying to have eyes see and ears hear and discernment. I'm trying to look into the spirit. I don't care about the physical. The physical is not what's going to condemn your soul and hurt you. It's the spirit that does it. Everything starts with the spirit, ends in the physical. You got to stop it from the beginning. Please share all my videos if you can. I feel like the knowledge I'm giving and I'm sharing to people, I feel like it's of great value and worth to where I'm doing it. Sometimes I get mad at myself and I'm like, why am I getting supposed 7 views or even 100? I want to get to 1,000 because I want to make a difference. And I feel like I see all these people in their videos and they just talk 30 minutes of BS, bullcrap. Then they have like 2 or 3 minutes of nuggets and that's it. And I spent the whole 30 minutes waiting for those 2 or 3 minutes. And then here I am giving you like 100 nuggets of truth and knowledge that no one else is giving, and I can't get more than 7 or 8 views. I got struck yesterday. I had to repost the video and it went up, but the first time I posted it, it had a circle with an X through it and said I broke guidelines, and I already lost my other 2 channels. If I'm doing something right, I have to be doing something right or I wouldn't be kicked off YouTube. Because the videos that I'm getting hit for aren't about anything that's crazy. Like calling Obama the Antichrist, I don't care, I'm gonna say it. If I get struck for it, so what? It's truth. Freedom of speech is being rejected by England's government. They said that they'll prosecute and bring people from the U.S. over to England to be prosecuted if they break the guidelines. Speech is free, guys. So is the word of God. Never be afraid to speak truth. If you're afraid to speak truth, you're not a Christian. If you're afraid to preach the word or talk to someone to save them, someone you don't know or even family, you're not a Christian. If you're embarrassed of God and his word, he's gonna be embarrassed to give your name to the Father and write you the book of life. We're past all that crap. We're in wartime. It's real deal now. Buck up and start getting real and become a warrior. There's too many passive aggressive wieners out there. I go to church and I see so many men that act like women and so many women that act like men. It is ridiculous. It's totally backwards. Insane. Half these so-called husbands are gay. I'm sorry. I'm against homosexuals. I am. It's not natural. I feel like they've been traumatized and a demon or spirit or deity got into them and it's messing up their train of thought and their sexual preference and their spirit, and then they get raped or sexually assaulted. Then the woman tends to turn a lesbian, or the homosexual was molested by a man when he was young. It's always the same freaking story, and it's not right. I'm against it. I think it's a mental disorder. I think they're affected by a deity or a satanic spirit, a Nephilim. It's not natural. And it's rampant, guys. Like, I've never seen it so bad in my life. Every show or movie that I watch, there has to be a gay couple. Everyone. Even cartoons. It is so disgusting and it's an abomination. It's not natural at all. And I go to church and I see all these men that are married to women and I know they're gay. I guarantee it. And it's sad. Really is. Our society has fallen so far, and the United States is to blame. Everything starts here. We push it on the youth when they're so young. By the time they're adults, they think it's just normal in the way of life, when it really wasn't. And the sad part is the transgender movement, the pedophile movement. That's how the gay movement. There's only like 3% of the population really is that way. But the media and marketing and the public has this idea that 30% of the country is like that, when it's not. And then it caught on fire, and then the whole world started becoming gay, and it was the cool, right thing. First they do the gay agenda, then they do the transgender agenda, which is even more disgusting. That's a totally different deity or satanic demon that goes in that person, and those are really hard to get out of. And then they change the sex of that young child or adult permanently, and they can never go back. That's why suicide's so high in transgender and homosexuals. I think homosexuals is 250% higher than normal people. Then transgenders like 420% higher. And then the next agenda after transgender is pedophilia. They do it layer by layer. to where transgender is going to be so common and so accepted. They're going to be like, oh, pedophilia is accepted. It's disgusting. And pedophilia is the worst abomination next to abortion. Those are the two worst abominations on this planet that you can do. Abortion, pedophilia, child abuse, murder, and then pride. And then, you know, those are unforgivable sometimes to me, man. But I realized that a lot of these pedophiles and a lot of these transgenders were sexually assaulted when they were young. And they were broken, and they had that demon come into them at an early age, and that they're just fulfilling what that demon's forcing them to do at a young age. When a demon takes over a child at a young age through sexual assault or trauma or rape, the demon goes right into them without them even acknowledging it or accepting it. And then by the time that child's 18, they're so destroyed and spiritually broken that that demon has full reign of their body and mind by the time they're 18. Then they make that kid a pedophile or a monster. So before you start judging people, start realizing how that trauma and how that demon even started in the first place. I've seen so many kids get molested, especially I heard in the Roman Catholic Church. It is ridiculous. All these priests, man, it's disgusting. They just move them around and shuffle them like chess pieces on a board so no one says anything. I never personally experienced it, but I've heard and I know a couple people that have gone through it. And, you know, they end up becoming pedophiles or rapists or women beaters themselves. So that's how the demon evolved, and that's how their trauma was handled, through aggression and hatred of women to where they beat them, or hate or fascination with little children because they didn't have a childhood. They were raped as a young kid, so they start molesting kids or killing them. It's always the same story, same MO every time. That's why it's so hard for me to hate. I don't judge anyone because I think about their past and what they are. Because if you're a human being, even if you're a child molester or a pedophile, you still have a right to be saved. No human being deserves to go to hell. None. I don't care if you raped them or molested 1 million children and destroyed all their lives. If you repent and accept God truly, not to avoid hell because you love Him and you really repent for what you've done to these poor little innocent children, you deserve to go to hell. No one deserves to, or you go to heaven. No one deserves to burn in hell for eternity. Maybe for a week or two, but never eternity. I wish it on my worst enemy. But I am against pedophilia. I can't stand it. Homosexuality, transgender. I hate the demons that infest our friends and family and loved ones and children. This culture is so fallen and so broken. It just makes me sad. And like I said, the African American community, man, they promote so much violence and rap and their culture, and the nuclear family's gone. Now they're taking the women out through feminism. Every African American woman I meet, they're so aggressive. They're so intolerant. A lot of them are racist. They're judgmental. They're always defiant. And I get it. It's because they lived hard lives, and they have to be strong, independent black women. And they have to take care of their kids. And then they raise these men kind of like boyfriends. They raise them and make them to the boyfriend they want a boyfriend to be, or they feel like how a perfect man should be. And they have this weird symbiotic relationship with their son. It happens a lot with children. And then they promote to their daughters to be independent and focus on their careers and not children. That's why abortion is so high in the African American community, and the birth rate's so low. African American women used to have 3 or 4 kids, each one, in the 70s, late 60s. I think it's like maybe like 0.8 now. It's insane. The abortion's through the roof of African American women because the government aims at them, and then they push welfare. You know, welfare is a trap, guys. Do not get on it. If you can avoid it at any cost, do not do it. Do not fall in the trap, guys. The nuclear family is so important. It really is. I think the Asian and Indian culture is so much more dominant in U.S. culture right now, especially in success and schematics of money and monetary and assets, is because they have a nuclear family. I never see Asian people divorce. I never see Indian people divorce. All their families work together as one giant unit to help each other out. They build each other up. And Hispanics. Those three cultures, they're doing it right still. I really appreciate and respect their cultures, man. They put family first, and if one succeeds, they all succeed. The Caucasian African American community can learn a lot from them. The African American community is the backbone of our country. They built this country, they bled and died for this country, and they're the powerhouses of this country. We need them. The African American community and the Caucasian community could unite, this country would be unstoppable. Because the true Christians, the most powerful Christians that I've experienced with the Holy Spirit, especially in churches, is the African American community. People can say whatever they want, but every church that I've been to in the African American community has the full of the Holy Spirit. And those are some true worshipers of Christ. And they're all saved. All these Caucasian, white, suburban churches, there's no Holy Spirit in it. There's dead. It's dead. You go to African American churches, they're full of the Holy Spirit. Went to a Korean church, they're real deal, you know. Our cultures need to unite, guys. We are a melting pot. That's what makes America so great and so grand and so pure. Am I for immigration? Yes. If there are true asylum seekers, and if they're men, if they're women and children, I'm all for it. But no men, none. I don't care if you have to leave your man in your country back. The women and children can come, but not the man. All I see, all the immigrants that I see in the place where I live is all African men and South American and Central American men. No women, no children. They're not seeking asylum. They're seeking handouts and opportunity, bad or good. I don't see any women or children. All women and children should have a right to have a life, a childhood, a life and opportunity. But none of these people are seeking asylum. No, none of them. They're seeking opportunity and a chance to live. The funny part is our government, the United States, destroyed the Venezuelan government. They destroyed all these governments in South and Central America. We did it. Our CIA did it. So we deserve kind of what we get. But the immigration thing, it's all planned, guys. They want division and craziness, and they're getting it. They know that our economy is about to crash. They got to spend as much as they can in order to crash it faster. So they're giving immigrants $15,000 EBT food stamp cards every month. They're getting free housing, free cars, free insurance, free everything. And they're pissing off the American people on purpose. They don't want to give it to the American people. They want them to be on the back burner. They want them to be down and out. They want this new immigration to be the new America. They're docile, they're obedient, they're just glad to be here, and they'll do what they're told. True Americans, patriots, they won't back down. They want freedom, and we'll fight to the death for it. They know it. So they're kicking and killing all of us and moving us out and bringing them in, especially in cities, democratic cities. Right before the election, they're going to legalize immigration, and they'll be able to vote. And it'll give them somewhat of a chance to possibly come close to winning. There's going to be a civil war, guys. Don't fall for the poison, though. Don't have hatred for these immigrants. Put yourself in their shoes. Are we doing it wrong? Yes. Do they have a right to live and have a childhood and have opportunity? They do, even if they're men. The problem is a lot of these immigrants are insurgents, they're military trained, and they're splinter cells. As soon as they get the call, some kind of situation is going to happen, they're going to be agitated, and it's going to be all at once. This whole country is going to be on fire instantaneously. County to county, town to town, city to city, they're in every single neighborhood. So keep your eyes peeled, keep aware of your environment. If you see any shadiness, any weirdos, anyone that doesn't look right, feel right, keep an eye on them. You owe it to your family and your community. And if shit does pop off, fight. Don't curl up in a ball in your closet. Be a true warrior Christian and fight for this country and fight for good people. Because if someone comes into your home and tries to kill you or take your stuff, they're not good people to begin with. You have a right to defend yourself and your family. Any means necessary. Hope everyone has a good day. Jesus is knocking. Are you finally going to answer?